Hi. It looks like I'll wait for a few people to get on here, and then we will start talking. Let me turn down my radio a little bit. My topic for tonight was, well, that let's just see, either there's proof that everyone's victim or proof that nobody's victim. Now I can do both, but I'm gonna wait for some people to go live here, and then we will see. Okay. Okay. I had one person, but they left. Okay, everybody. I'm ready. So I just want to say hi if anybody has got this. Hi. I'm here tonight to talk about what led to what. Okay. Let's see, I got my mess here going on, but let's talk about what led to what. And what I mean by that is like my situation and all. But there's still nobody on here, so I'm gonna wait. It's just weird talking to myself, I guess, a little bit. So I'm gonna drink some of my juice and then wait. But I'm here. I'm live. I got no moderators, no bots, no nothing like that. It's just me, plain old me. Nobody else. I'm gonna wait for some of you to get on here before I start. Okay. So as soon as I get somebody on, then I can start. because I want to talk about some real truth. Okay, where's everybody at? Where's everybody at? Okay, guys. I'm kind of waiting for somebody to come on. But until then, maybe I'll read you a little bit of something. I got this book here. It's a pretty cool book. Okay, character developed by little deeds. Okay. Pepper and patience. Kinship of man. Let's see. What do I got here? Printing in the skies. How about we read A Man on Fire? Okay. A strange sight was witnessed in Arlington, New Jersey. A crossed electric wire, one end of which was attached to a large maple tree, produced a remarkable illumination of a tree's trunk beneath the bark. It seemed as though the entire trunk was a mass of sparkling fire, each crack and each crevice in the bark glowing with an electric flame that lighted up the entire street. The unusual and beautiful spectacle attracted hundreds of people who stood for hours watching the sight. It was something like that in a spiritual way which attracted men to Peter and his friends on the day of the Pentecost. That, above all else, it is which we need to attract the heedless throng away from their sins, compel them to listen to the message of salvation. And there will be those who will come to see him burn. I wonder what you guys think about that. Well, here's where it all started. I was locked up when I was 15. Okay, I had already been in there a year. Anyways, one day I was reading the newspaper, and in the newspaper there's this clipping that I clipped out, and I still have it today. Anyways, in this clipping was I seen a name, and I liked that name. It was different, and I told myself, okay, I'm gonna marry this person with this name. Even though I didn't know who it was, I've never met him before or anything. Anyways, the name was Jory. And let's see, in November of 2006, I got out of lockup. Okay. And then like my cousin, somebody that was in my cousin's wedding died, so we went to his funeral. And anyways, and 2 rows ahead of me, I seen this guy, and I heard somebody call him Jory. And he was sitting next to like somebody that was bigger in like a leather jacket or whatever. But so after that, we left the funeral. A couple nights later, I had to go to this NA meeting. So I went to this NA meeting at this church in Litchfield, right? There was a lot of people there. They had 1,000,000 chairs, and we were all gathered around. Anyways, I heard somebody say Jory again. Well, so I seen him, right? I have no idea who this is, but I know I have books and notebooks full of me and him getting married, you know? I was obsessed with this name, right? And I had that clipping and whatnot. Anyway, so I sat there and I had my nose in the air and I pretended like I didn't see him. And I know that he noticed me because I was ignoring him, right? That after the NA meeting, I was standing outside with a group of people and deciding who's going to give me a ride home, right? And so I said it loudly. I'm like, yeah, I was at this funeral, you know, a couple days ago, whatever, so-and-so died. And Jory walked up to me and goes, hey, I was there too. And then we got to talking. Anyways, he gave me a ride home. Then we hung out for a little while after that. I still, you know, just know him, you know, nothing like that. But next thing you know, I turned 18. And we got married a month later. So miraculously, it was the same day my grandma got married. Didn't even know it. We ran away to South Dakota. He was just turned 33, and I just turned 18. And so we went to South Dakota and got married on January 29th, 2007. We're still married, but it was not too long ago that he found this clipping of mine. He goes, "Where'd you get this?" I said, "I've had it for ever since it came out." And he goes, "I didn't even know you then." I said, "No, you didn't, but I know your name, and I have notebooks full of me and your name." And so that he was like, just kind of like shocked. He's like, "Wow." I'm like, "Yeah, it's kind of a crazy how powerful the written word is in a visual board, because I'm telling you, if it's just a coincidence or what, but I think it was a choice, and I think I made it happen. And I led myself to that choice. But it could be an illusion also. See, that's where I'm trying to have this hard time deciding what is what. If who's the victim? No one is. That's proof right there. It's proof that either everyone's a victim or no one's a victim. That is solid proof right there. This visual, because I was locked up. I was 17. You know, I'd been in there a year already. I read the newspaper. I seen this cool name that said Jory in it. I kept it, and then I'm like, Ashley and Jory. That sounds good. Ashley and Jory. That sounds good. So I, lo and behold, got married to him 3 months later. So if the written word isn't powerful in a vision board, then you tell me what that was, because I don't know what that was. If anybody has any idea what that was, I don't know, but I sure hope it's nothing, because I remember in 6th grade, I believe, or 4th grade maybe, we had to do this project, write our own obituary and everything, and I don't think I handed mine in, but I did write it. And what I wrote was something about dying from like cocaine or something in prison, or something like that. And but I never handed it in. But that's kind of weird by itself. I mean, I'm not superstitious or anything, but I'm just saying, I know what happened with me, and I know that that's real, and I know that's very fucking real. And I've been married for 16 years now. And yeah. I also was reading through some papers the other day, and I seen that there was this lady in my town that I grew up in, and every day, I mean, like twice a week, I would go to her house, and we'd play cards together. Her name was Adeline Johnson in Grove City. Anyways, Adeline Johnson was a sweet lady, and I went and played cards with her like twice a week for probably 10 years. And I had no idea that her grandson was Shane Johnson. He was in the same grade as me. He always teased everybody. He was kind of a dick. And now he's a police officer in Wilmer, Minnesota. But anyways, so Adeline Johnson, she's a sweet old lady, and I loved her dearly. Anyways, on February 18th, it was a Wednesday, 2004, Adeline Johnson passed away. Her funeral was February 22nd, Sunday, 2004. Anyways, so I think about her all the time. I mean, there's probably a day that doesn't go by where I don't think of her, because I used to always sing this song, Adeline, Adeline, Adeline Johnson. She was the coolest lady ever. She always gave me candy when we played cards, and we just talk about anything and everything. She's really dear to me. Other than that, I'm sorry, I might have rushed that whole conversation a bit quick, but there's nobody on here, so I'm just gonna cut it short. But just everybody needs to let me know what they think about that, because I feel like it's real, because it happened. I mean, how else do you explain it? How else do you explain what I just got done talking about? I mean, that's kind of insane. But the whole thought of it today made me think about Adeline Johnson. Adeline, Adeline, Adeline Johnson. She was a good lady. She was. And then there's my Aunt Brenda. She died like not too long ago. Well, the first time she died was in my car. It was me. I drove her to Target. She wanted to go shopping or something. My other Aunt Linda was with. She was in the back seat. Anyways, Brenda went in to use the bathroom, and she came back out, and she's like, I can't breathe. And I'm like, okay. So I started the car, and I held her hand, and we drove, and Linda's in the back seat hysterical, going, oh my god, she's gone. And like, stop it, so I cut off traffic, I knew we weren't going to make it to the hospital, to the emergency room. I knew we wouldn't make it there. There was no way she'd still be here. She wouldn't make it. So I flew up right to the front doors of the clinic, right? And I ran in there. I'm like, Linda, break my seat. We gotta give her CPR. Break her seat. And she's all hysterical. And I ran in there, and I'm like, cold blue. And they were awesome. They rushed right out, and here I got stuck in the doors with the wheelchair. Anyways, they got her out. They started on her and saved her, right? And she got flown to North Memorial. And so I brought my aunt down there, and we were down there, and my aunt and the doctor were talking, and they're like, we should just pull the plug, blah, 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 and whatnot. Well, anyways, Linda goes, yeah. Well, anyways, I ignored them too, and I went into her room, and I sat by her. She was on life support. And, she was obviously not coherent at the time, because they had kept her so sedated, because she kept trying to pull that out of her throat. But anyways, I knew better. So the next day or two, I began talking to her, and I'm like, Brenda, if you can understand me, blink your eyes. She blinked her eyes, and I noticed she was moving around a lot, so I knew something was wrong. So I said, okay, does it hurt here? She blinks her eyes, no. And does it here? No. I'm like, do you mind if I lift up your nightgown? She goes, yes, blinks her eyes. So I lift up her nightgown, and her catheter was half in, half out. Now, can you imagine how painful that would be? I mean, that would be so painful. So right away, I said, Brenda, do you want to go home? She tried moving her head, and she blinked her eyes. I'm like, okay. So the nurse's desk was right across from her room. I went to the nurse's desk, and I said, she needs help right now. Her catheter is hanging halfway in, halfway out. There was about 5 nurses standing there. around the desk, and they're like, can't you see we're doing paperwork? So I flew over the desk, I grabbed the paperwork, I threw it all over the place, and I said, okay, does this paperwork breathing? Now go help her right now, and then they called security on me. Well, security pulled me in this room, and he's like, okay, what's the matter? I can't leave this room, and blah blah blah. So he gets my side of the story, and then he goes out and gets theirs, and about half hour later, a doctor and 5 nurses come in there to apologize to me. They're like, we're sorry, you were right. And then I started bitching again. I'm like, you can take her off the goddamn fucking medication, she can breathe and she can understand me. I talked to her, I had a kind of conversation with her. How do you think I found what was wrong with her? You think I just go around snooping in people's dresses? It's just hysterical. But a week later after that, she was up and well and she came home. After that, I was a little bit nervous and scared of everything, everything. I was scared of food from the store because I remember eating a lot of TV dinners and stuff, and that's probably what killed her. I mean, what she ate. But so I'm still a little sketchy of food from stores, and whatnot. But I have nothing else to talk about tonight because there's nobody on here. I'm not very well liked tonight, I guess. So I guess I hope that somebody watches this and maybe gives me a little insight and responds. And maybe you can get some insight from it too. But for now, I'm gonna say, bye guys. I'll do another live stream tomorrow night.